So if I make a mistake in jiu-jitsu, chances are I'm going to end up in a bad position. So let's say the bad position would be you mounting me, you on my back with your arms around my neck, or you having full control of my leg and being able to break it. Let's say those three scenarios. However, although that sounds really bad and doom and gloom, I now have a perfect opportunity to work my way out of a bad position.
Yeah.
So if I never made mistakes, I would not be very good at the positions that are most important to escape from. So sometimes through playfulness, I'll get myself in a sticky situation where a white belt is on my back with his arms fully wrapped around my neck trying to choke me out. I then need to be grateful for being there because now I've got someone giving all the strength he's got in the world, because the higher belts conserve their strength a little bit. The white belts try and kill you. The white belts are the most dangerous on the mat. But then in that very moment, I can embrace the mistake because I'm now going to become more competent at escaping a fully locked up rear naked choke. When I do make a mistake and someone's got me in a heel hook, I now get to practice escaping from a heel hook. If it goes wrong, we can tap and start again. But if it goes right, I can become better at that. So as you become more experienced, you're more open to making mistakes, because when you make a mistake, you then get to a point that you're either ready for or you're not. So I think that in business and marketing, people are trying to do so much without making mistakes. But if you do that, you never get good at the important places. So for instance, if you try and curate your email marketing to look perfect, you might never really realize what works for people and what doesn't. The first thing I ever bought from email marketing was a guy who wrote an email drunk at his dad's funeral. And he said at the end, if you think it's inappropriate for me to sell off my dad's death, go fuck yourself. Oh my God, I bought his book. It's great. I ignored all the emails before. That to him was letting someone advance their position somewhere dangerous. Now, if half his email list unsubscribed, he's tapped out. But when you tap out, you start again. Mm-hmm. Now, if he got more sales than ever, he's now realized how to escape a very dangerous position. So without being vulnerable to letting your situation potentially worse by maybe being polarizing in your content, telling people to fuck off, imagine some of the things that, with beer, with alcohol, with whatever, you can actually have a bit of fun with it. You could say, remember when Yorkie had the chocolate bar, Not For Girls?
Yeah.
Little things like that. If that campaign completely fucked them in the sales, they can always tap out, start again with something else. It's never really the end of the world. Even Bud Light are doing fine now.
Yeah.
They pulled the vets card and they're back. They're probably better than ever. And Dana White it sounds like it's all about the money. It's a fucking sponsor, you dickheads. Of course it's about the money.
Yeah.
So imagine, let's say you've got an IT security company. You should say to you get all the personal data off there. Go, cool. Take the website down for a second. Let's let people hack us. Let's let ourselves get hacked, right? Then the second you get hacked, you go, cool, go to work. And then you would be in the real situation where you have to do something. That would make your IT security infrastructure. I'm not saying it's a good idea.
Yeah.
I'm saying that's kind of the premise of it. Or, hey, let's try a campaign that could be really, really bad for the business. And if we do lose sales, let's recuperate it over the next 3 months. But only by doing those things can you really see if things are going to work better. And
what are some of the things sorry to interrupt, what are some of the things you've done where you've put yourself in those really vulnerable situations, and what have you learned? Like any specific examples?
In the onset, they probably went a bit too far, a few lawsuits, but just saying putting things really straight on content and just being like, do you know what? This post could lose me 10,000 followers. It could gain me 10,000. The only way we're going to know is by doing it. I remember I made some mistakes that cost me. There was one where someone commented on a post of mine and they said, it's okay for you. You're a cisgender straight white male. And I replied and screenshotted it and posted it going, or I outworked you for a decade. And my God, there were like news companies messaging me going, oh, James, we just wondered if you wanted to comment on this. I'm like, Luke, should I comment on this? He's like, no, they're about to tear you down in a news piece. I was like, really? He was like, yeah. And I remember that all kicking off. But then I was proud of what I said because it was what I was thinking. But then there are other times where someone's chatting shit and I'm going to make a post about it. And when I post it, I get anxiety. Oh, this could go badly. And then the next day I've grown by 75,000 followers and my inbox is like, oh, you were so right. That post helped me understand this and this. So we joke around where Luke and I said for a long time, we called lawsuits speeding tickets. And we said, if you're not getting sued, you're not moving fast enough. And it was kind of that fast and loose approach to marketing that I think helped. It's not for everyone. It's not for everyone, but that's how you become better at those things. And for my manager comes from an industry much more cutthroat than mine, so he's battle hardened to a lot.
What's Luke do?
So he came from nightlife promoting to running festivals and events.
Yeah, because I actually met. I was in Ibiza at a wedding and met one of my met a promoter out there, and I was like talking to him about New Tonic. He was like, yeah, I fucking know Luke. So he sent in an email when we were at this wedding. His name's my mate's called Joe Iglesias, who's the DJ. I don't know what the manager's name was, and that's kind of how this sort of linked in. Which is super interesting. But yeah, so he was doing the nightlife thing.
Nightlife, club promoting, festivals, but then you have artists who, 2 weeks before headlining a gig, we want 50 grand more. Or when they're signing contracts, they'll pull you out through the whole contract signing process. Then just you're about to put pen to paper, if you give us 10 grand more, we'll do it today. And as a promoter, you're like, fuck, I've already sold tickets for this. Yeah, cool, you have another 10 grand.
Yeah.
You would have people pull out of events. You'd have people say, I'm not doing this if that person's doing it as well. You can have people overdose on drugs in your crowd and you'd be liable for manslaughter. And people posting stories about, they weren't real sniffer dogs, that was the security guard's pet dog. And there's nothing you can do to challenge those claims. So there's real serious things happening. Then when you come into the world of having a brand with a drinks business I want a public apology. People are like, this isn't serious, legitimate lawsuits. That's defamation. It's actually my personal opinion, as I said in the post. So the things in this realm just aren't as serious to what they can be in other places. So having someone who's battle hardened and being in those bad situations definitely helps.
What's he taught you?
Everything. I'm pretty sure that he's almost the person I go to for like a second opinion, but a lot to do with business, relationships. And as far as you can get inside your own head a lot. And imagine this. If I was to ask you to look through your organization or to your friendship group and to point and pick things that maybe your friends or colleagues or employees aren't good at, you can do it really easily. Not being a twat. You could go, he's great at sales copy, but he's not too good at speaking in front of camera. Dale, he's really good at chatting up girls, but he's awful at driving. This person. But then when it comes to picking what you're not good at, we have blind spots. If you would say, James, what aren't you good at? I'm like, I'll pull a blank, or I'd pull a premeditated answer to it. So having someone that can see your blind spots and attribute your strengths and also help you understand your weaknesses, I'll probably say that.
What are your blind spots?
Well, this is it. I think this would be a premeditated answer, but it would definitely be organization, short-term memory, patience. I would say what I've managed to do over the last maybe 10, 15 years is use those probably negative personality traits to benefit my business. Whereas in corporate, I was a fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
Hated it. Couldn't stand it. Sitting at a desk. Definitely rebellious. You finish work at 5:30, but I finished my work. It's 4:30. I'll sit here for an hour. Fuck off.
Yeah, yeah.
Or just corporate chat where I hated the fact that, in recruitment, someone goes, James, what was your weekend? What'd you get up to? I couldn't really say that I had a bin bag around my neck and I threw up 2 bottles of wine into a bin bag and needed a line of cocaine to straighten myself out. I couldn't say it. I was like, I just went for dinner. I'm just lying to people.
Went to Pizza Express.
Yeah. Ended up getting chucked out of club in Reading at 22. I can't say stuff like that. So yeah, it's one of those things that allowed me to be this chaotic, semi-unprofessional, because even in some respects now I'm still semi-unprofessional to what some people would think. You can't be rude to people, you can't call people out, but it's just on brand.
Espressos is sponsored by supply chain software gurus Unleashed. It talks to your e-com and accounting software. It's helped islands cut admin time in half, get granular clarity on your margins, know where your stock is, don't miss availability. Brands like Candy Kittens, Tiny Rebel and Trip all use Unleashed, and so should you.